So for our call to worship this morning, I share with you an excerpt of an essay written by Davies called "The Measure of Our Humanity." I am an American, and I believe in my country. I believe in the great principles upon which my country was founded, principles that declare that all people everywhere are created free and equal and are endowed by their Creator with the universal right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that my country must exert itself to live up to the standards of these great principles and must do more in the future, that would be us, than has ever been done in the past. But I also believe that such principles, whenever they are sincerely loved and worthily practiced, will cause Americans to join hands with people of goodwill throughout the world. For these, indeed, are universal principles. True Americans should therefore be true internationalists, and if they believe also in a religion of good works, combined with the freedom of belief, as Unitarians do, they must respect humanity universally and do everything they can to bring a better, happier world. A. Powell Davies inspired his congregation to act then, and his words are a call to us now, to you and me, to follow in their footsteps and do everything that we can to bring a better and happier world. May we make it so. Come, let us worship together.
Everyone in this room has stood on the edge of despair in some way or another and known what it's like to be tested beyond what we thought we could endure. Heartbreak, struggle, loss, war. Seeing the documentary film Pictures from a Hiroshima Schoolyard on Thursday night reminded me of the power that a single act of kindness has to encourage others to stand up and move on, and of the power of hope in helping us turn away from despair. The teachers and adults who survived Hiroshima taught their children to forgive, not hate, to hope, not despair, to plan for a better future and not be shackled to a blackened yesterday. That is our challenge every day that we live. Whether struggling with small disappointments or severe traumas, it takes great courage to plant the seeds of hope in others and in ourselves. Even more courage to nurture it every single day. To honor that courage, I will light the chalice and rejoice in the power of a single act of kindness to change the world.
Spirit of life and love, we come with heavy hearts for all the destruction that has happened and continues to happen through fighting and war. We hold all of the countless lives lost in war, precious men, women, and children. Help each of us find ways to serve humanity and help bring the spirit of life and love and healing back to our broken and hurting world. May we each be agents of healing, both ourselves and others. When war and fighting can be prevented, may we prevent it. And when war happens, may we be there to help bind and heal the wounds. And may we continue to be the people who do everything they can to bring a better, happier, more whole and healed world. May it be so. Amen. So, this is a powerful movie, and how many of you have had a chance to see it? There was a showing the other night, thank you. And those of you that haven't had a chance, I hope you will get a chance to see it soon. So I'm really curious, how did you get involved with this project in the first place?
Okay, she gave me the question last night, so I just put together, helped by my dear friend Johnny here. So I want to maybe read it, that's maybe easier, because sometimes, my pronunciation is something, maybe you don't understand, so. I always say, I know what I'm saying. Okay, so can I say, and I conceived the idea of making this film in 2006. I took atomic bomb survivor to also Unitarian Church in Washington, D.C. to see these Hiroshima children drawings, which I heard about, but I have never seen it myself. And then this is the opportunity, so I took them to the church. Though actually, I never been to the Unitarian Church. That was the first time, that the same time for the atomic bomb survivor went also to church in Unitarian. The artwork was done in 1948 in gratitude, that's what already you said, for the school surprise, since, this already, you already told them. So, first off, I was not expected seeing these beautiful, bright, joyful art at all. Because before that, I have been seeing many very sad darkness and this really sad drawings by children in Hiroshima. So I was not really happy about seeing it, but they want to show it. So I went there. But how? When I saw this drawing the first time, shocked and surprised, and then to see their art was so bright and joyful, even though the children had gone through such dark experiences. This sparked me curiosity, is that okay? Curiosity of the children's lives and their educational system that would encourage them to create such a beautiful art with hope. And then immediately I realized, oh, my mom, who was a school teacher in Hiroshima, but outside of Hiroshima during World War II and after World War I too. I called her that day and I asked her, what kind of education system did you have, or how did you teach the children who lost everything? Because also after the 1945, August 15, since Japan is different country, because America said, here, now you better listen to us. Don't bring the militaristic politics. And then we will teach you called democracy, which our country never taught democracy before that. So that since 1945, August 15, all the focus on democracy. So my mother said all the people and all the educators get together, and she also first time to learn what is a democracy. So and she had to learn, and then she had to just pass on. I said, okay, this is wonderful, because these are our new generation who going to recover, and then our new Japanese. So that's why they will focus on the teaching just hope and better life. So that's why she was focused on that. So they didn't have any book and the textbook at all. So each teacher had to create her own teaching book. So that was, she said, according to her, that was more fun. And then she also gave a lot of storytelling, telling the story. And then children had a lot of time and working and playing a game outside. So a lot of game. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, this immediately after I saw this drawing, I worked on the restoration, because this drawing is 60 years old. Papers are very old, and they're all really damaged. You can imagine 60 years old paper what has been in the basement was 55 years, but 60 years. So I really noticed that I have to help restoring the children's art. And I said it's more mold too. And then I have a little bit of idea about how to restore, but I'm not professional. So I have to call my friend. Happened to be, I live in the Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian there. So I have a friend for the restorator. So I called him and asked him. He said, well, I have never done any chosen drawing, the restoration, because he has been doing a lot of national treasure art. He asked me, why? What's really, how important? And I said, this is important to me, and I'm sure important to all of us, because this is evidence of how the children discover the hope from the incredible disaster, from nothing. So this is the evidence. When we say 100 times, 1,000 times talk about, but once you saw these drawings, say everything. That's evidence. So he said, okay, I understand that, but he said he gave me the minimum fee, and that was $20,000 to restore the 48 drawings together. That was minimum fee. And then I said, okay. And I asked him, okay, so how about 5? I have to calculate what I can afford. And he said, no, 48 together. So that was already 3 days after, first time I saw drawings already going on. And then I have to call the fundraising to, for the restore the drawing. And I asked my mom, and she said, she was not really happy to hear that, but why do you want to do that? They are not your children. You are not Hibakusho. And why? And then I had to ask myself, why? I did not know why. I just think I have to do it. And I really didn't think about financially, and then I start making documentary film of my own. So I directed, and I hired a young and photographer cameraman, and then I started document about restoration. And then I realized, working on more, and I moved on to share this and more story, which I discovered. More I know, understand about this drawing, I discovered about behind the history about what happened after in the atomic bomb. And I realized many of the Americans didn't have any idea how the people survived after the bomb. And also many of the Hiroshima, Nagasaki people who survived the atomic bomb, they didn't have any idea how the Americans thought about them. So I think this is very important to tell them there is a little kindness from also Unitarian Church to try to help children in Hiroshima. no one knew about this story, and the first time ever I heard about, oh, somebody American right after the atomic bomb tried to help the children and care about the people in Japan. And they didn't realize that was very, very encouraged them. Okay, now we know all Americans are not bad. There is a wonderful kindness Americans as well. So that this changed their attitude to see about America. This is just one little kindness really opened up their heart. And then they have to learn themselves called forgiveness. And they have to go on to finding their hope and happiness. So that's why I thought I have to make a film. Thank you.
Yes. I think we're going to skip a few of these questions, but I am curious, what ongoing impact do you see from these acts of kindness over the 60 years, and how has it contributed to healing the war? You were just talking a little bit about that, but 60 years later, what do you see?
I do address with this information in my film, when you see the film, and then
Yes.
when I wrote a lot of this information in my book as well. And I think it's a long story, because that's really a lot of things I have to share. And important things is, as you are the Unitarian people, you are together, all different kinds of and religious elder people all together as a human, one human being. So I really learned about that. Doesn't matter America or Japanese or any other countries, we have same hope and love and kindness, caring. So I think that's for the basic of the human nature. So I think I hope we can reach this wonderful basic human nature, value of the human nature to all the people who are fighting right now. I hope we can reach this and the fundamental human love, and fundamentally we really care about them, especially care about children who are fighting the war in the all those countries. So I hope I can reach these children to understand, no hopeless, this is no end, no hate. There is a life waiting for you, something better and bright future. So that's I thought I really thought we all work together. That's I learned. I think I always say we. And, yeah, so we. I like we.
Are you in on this? Yes. I just want to say, could someone bring me that blanket that's hanging on the corner there? So, as a part of this movie, we were challenged to have our own small act of kindness program. Thank you so much, Karen. So you heard earlier that we were not able to work on the blankets today. These are the blankets we're talking about. So they're fleece, and we tie them together, and we're making a whole bunch of these. And if you can help us tie them next Sunday, we won't be tying them today because they're not ready. Then we will be giving these to homeless teens that are living in Colorado Springs. And so this is our current effort of a small act of kindness to make a difference in people's lives. So we're taking this into the world and making it a concrete practice for us to be a part of. This isn't just a story for us to feel good about. We are a part of it, and we're carrying it on. Thank you. So I'm just curious about the dance. Can we talk briefly about the dance, the significance of your dance?
I was trained all different dance and theater in Japan, and then when I grew up, I'm a post-war child because 3 years after war I was born. So I just grown up with everything from America, and to me it's wonderful. Everything from America, so wonderful. So that's why I was passionate about Broadway musical, Western ballet, the jazz, all the things. So I am the one with a good example of the growing up with American attitude. Good attitude. But today, I dance because I danced many, and I choreographed the opera, many companies, and then I really worked on the all different kind of theater. That's the whole my life of 50 years. My life was in the theater and dance. And then I realized I started to make this film, and then I started to dance like today. I just showed you the very short dance. And it is a dance for the anticipation of joyful time and hope. So that's I think I'm in the mid 60s, and finally I said, God, this is the dance I was looking for over 50 years. So I'm so glad I was able to share with you today. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So the closing words from the movie I'm going to share with you. Pictures made with a child's hand, from a child's heart, in a spirit of gratitude, a spirit of giving, in the spirit of friendship, the spirit of happiness, the spirit of joy, the spirit of remembrance, and the spirit of reconciliation, the spirit of life, the spirit of reunion, turning horror into hope and hope into peace. May we walk in these ways and continue this legacy ourselves. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Thank you. I invite you to share in the closing affirmation. Nurtured by this community, inspired by all that we share, may our actions carry this love forward into our lives and into the world every day. Go with joy and with peace, and please greet those around you and welcome them into our home. Thank you.